What you're looking at here is a video recorded by Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly, the husband of Gabby Giffords, the Arizona congresswoman who was shot and nearly killed at a political event that she was hosting in Tucson, Arizona 2 years ago. Mark Kelly just released this video through the pro-gun reform group that he and Gabby Giffords have since formed. You notice that the video looks a little strange and disjointed with these odd camera angles. That's in part because the video was recorded in secret from Mark Kelly's pocket. He recorded this video to demystify the whole issue of background checks that's being debated right now in state legislatures and across the country. In this video, he shows that getting a background check does not take very long. In his case, 5 minutes and 36 seconds. He shows that it's not very intrusive, and most importantly, it absolutely does not stop you from getting a gun if you legally should be allowed to get a gun.
Today, we're going to demonstrate what the whole process is and how relatively simple it is. This will not be my only gun. I've got a 9mm Ruger, a hunting rifle, a shotgun, a .25 semi-automatic pistol.
Hey, you don't have that Colt 45 anymore, do you? I wanted to buy that Colt 45 that was here.
That's two important things.
Are you under indictment for felony? No. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? No. Are you a fugitive? No. Are you an unlawful user addicted to marijuana? No. Have you ever been adjudicated mentally defective? No. Are you subject to a court restraining order? No. Have you ever been convicted in any court of any misdemeanor for domestic violence? No. Okay. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you.
You too. Take care.
5 minutes and 36 seconds later. The point is, background checks are not a pain. Background checks do not infringe on lawful gun owners in any meaningful way. This past weekend, we hit the 100-day mark since the elementary school massacre at Newtown. They tell us that people are supposed to now start forgetting or not caring about this now. We've hit that point. Things are supposed to slow down and get quieter now. That is not happening. You just look at the last few days. On Thursday, Joe Biden in New York City with Mayor Mike Bloomberg, press conference calling on Congress to act on the gun bill. The press conference included parents whose kids were among those murdered at Newtown, including Neil Heslin, who has been front and center in this debate in honor of his son Jesse. That same day, in the afternoon, a group called Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense led a march and rally in Harlem to promote and pledge to protect the gun safety bill that already passed in New York State. The same day in Boca Raton, Florida, local activists reacting to news that that state's gun safety bill won't include an assault weapons ban. The activists were not pleased. In protest, they hung on a tree the names of people killed by gun violence. On Saturday, there was a big gun buyback in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Over the course of 2 days, people turned in more than 2,000 guns, including assault weapons. This was the 5th gun buyback in Atlantic City just since Newtown. Same day, Mayors Against Illegal Guns announces a $12 million ad buy. 2 ads advocating gun safety legislation in Congress to run in 13 states. The ads support universal background checks specifically, which of course is supported by 9 of 10 Americans, but which people in the Beltway say maybe can't pass Congress. President Obama then devoted his entire weekly address on Saturday to pushing for gun safety legislation. Also Saturday, Wilmington, North Carolina, Carolinians for Sensible Gun Laws hold a rally in support of gun safety reform. They're outside of Best Western. You can see it's a crowd that's small, but inside that Best Western was an NRA fundraiser. And the group was pretty deeply focused on getting local media attention to what they were doing there outside that fundraiser, which is pretty much the point of these things. Then Monday, hundreds of clergy and parishioners from Episcopal dioceses around the country gathered in D.C. to promote gun reform. They marched from the White House to the Capitol. Also on Monday in Atlanta, Georgia, more religious leaders gathering to protest a state bill to force churches to allow concealed weapons on their premises, even if they don't want them. Those clergy think that's a bad idea. Hartford, Connecticut, same day, the state's 2 senators hold a press conference with Connecticut Against Gun Violence and with the Newtown Action Alliance. You'll see those familiar green ribbons symbolizing support for Sandy Hook. The senators and the groups insisting that Connecticut should lead on gun safety legislation and not wait for the federal government to act. And now, VoteVets, the nonpartisan progressive veterans group, releases this ad aimed at Arizona Senator Jeff Flake. Watch.
I had to pass a background check to join the Marine Corps before I could carry a weapon similar to this one in Iraq. Here at home, anyone can purchase this weapon, no questions asked. I support the Second Amendment, but we have seen what can happen when these fall into the wrong hands. I needed a background check to carry similar weapons in combat. We should require the same here at home. call Senator Flake and tell him to support universal background checks.
We are more than 100 days out now from Newtown, and the Beltway script says we're all supposed to be over Newtown now. The issue is supposed to return to its quiet stasis of the NRA getting everything at once, even though it represents only a rump minority extreme view in a nation that overwhelmingly wants this issue handled in a centrist way. The Beltway in Washington is trying desperately to follow that same script. But the politics are not necessarily following along. You can say, because you expected it to happen, that the momentum is stopping. But if you actually look at the news, the day by day, here, there, and everywhere, unrelenting, heterogeneous, unpredictable pressure for gun reform is off script. Within the last 24 hours, a conservative Democratic senator with an A rating from the NRA has just come out in favor of universal background checks. Senator Joe Donnelly is telling local media in his home state of Indiana that he is now supportive of universal background checks. Not only are people not forgetting, but things are moving. And now factor in a new round of action by the White House. We're told in the next few weeks that President Obama himself will hit the road to pressure specific senators to vote for gun reform. And not exactly separately, you have the organization formerly known as the President's Reelection Campaign, Organizing for Action. You have them announcing that tomorrow they and Mayors Against Illegal Guns are going to hold 100 different events across the country to support efforts against gun violence. The Beltway common wisdom on gun control is that it's losing steam as a potent political issue. That, yeah, sure, there was once a roiling boil of urgency after the Newtown massacre, but it's now a low simmer and the heat's dropping every day. That's how it always works, right? That's the line from the Beltway press, but it is not true this time. We have become a different country these last 3 months. Newtown changed us. You can tell from the way we're acting, and it doesn't seem like we are unchanging anytime soon. Now it's time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Have a great night.